I'm Aaron Michael Sanchez, and we are here in Indio, California, where a very important discussion is about to take place among many leaders in the community of Coachella Valley. The Coachella Valley Healthcare Initiative, started by Dr. Raul Ruiz, is about to be underway here in Indio, California. They're about to discuss the problems and, more importantly, the solutions.
At the biannual Flying Doctors event, up to 4,000 people line up at 5 in the morning for their only opportunity to see a dentist or a doctor. One gentleman at the Flying Doctors event, he was in his 70s, complained of nocturnal urgency and frequency and back pain. And as an emergency physician, I'm trained to think of what's the worst case scenario. I thought of prostate cancer, possibly end-stage metastasis to the spine. I asked how long he had these symptoms, and he said for 3 years. I said, when was the last time you saw a physician? He said 4 years ago. In fact, recent studies report that 87% of our farm workers, like him, have not seen a physician in over 4 years, and half of them have never seen a dentist in their life. In fact, at a community forum, a Spanish-speaking woman in her 50s stood up and with teary eyes told us about how she lost her job and was not able to afford her diabetes medicine, and how afraid she was of going into renal failure and needing hemodialysis. This was a quote that I'll never forget. She said, "I lost my job, but didn't lose my diabetes." These are stories that move us to action. Our response and our ability to work together will define us as a community.
All the workshops, 5 workshops, have convened and talked about problems, solutions, remedies. Let's see what some have to say about the solutions that they come up with. We're here with Michael Landis. Now, Michael, you just also got finished with workshop 1. What did you come away with?
First of all, there was a very high-level group of people in there, so it was well represented. We can use innovation. You know, we can use innovation for medicine, but you think that people that have less income maybe have access to, would not be able to use it. I think you challenge that. We challenge that assumption because, for instance, in China, where you had a population of people that didn't have optics, they didn't have the latest greatest. They jumped over all of our technology and went to wireless. And they have abilities, and we have the ability to maybe have people come to a clinic like the Volunteers in Medicine Clinic, which offers free clinical care, and maybe be interviewed by specialists that are located at Eisenhower Medical Center by telemedicine, and be able to help solve a problem.
Wait, telemedicine, that's a new term. I haven't heard that.
It's where we have a kind of a video conference where let's just say we have a person who's in Indio sitting in a room. Okay, Skype, exactly. Right. Why not do that with a doctor who's in their office, who, by the way, has been highly trained. They're also a person that has a high overhead, but they don't have the time to come out to Indio. Just set up that. Why don't we donate 3 appointments a day for that specialist to integrate with that person? So,
and it's not to take the person out of it, but it's to expedite so that person can get it, and they can write a prescription right there over the.
In telemedicine, you can do all of those things.
Something also that's very important, because you said, well, with the Obama, the new initiative, it kind of blurs the line of, well, people will think, well, then you're already taking care of it because that's going through. What should people know about?
Obamacare has potential to help the Coachella Valley, from what we understood. But we will not be, according to the Riverside County's COO who was here, one of her comments is, with regard to Obamacare, we're not large enough to be on the map to get federal dollars unless you step into this in the right way. So we have to do a healthcare assessment and tell the federal government what our size of our need is. You know, the need is huge throughout the U.S., we have to be put on the map.
We were in there talking about how we can sustain funding for this kind of effort, not only for the initiative itself, but also to how to implement the solutions that are there. So we brainstormed on some ideas around that, and then talked about ways of taking some low-hanging fruit that might be available to us and bringing immediate care and relief to the communities who are most impacted.
Oh, great. So where do you see this going in the next, I mean, maybe, I know there's short-term solutions and long-term. What's the short-term?
The short term seems to be we have everybody's attention, and hopefully from that we'll be able to get together a good conversation and dialogue that will allow us to take opportunities that are before us, even in this very downturned economy, to really do some good work in this valley.
And I think that the stuff you're doing here can go in other countries across the United States, almost as a template for other locations. But what would you like the public to know?
That that access to basic health care isn't happening in America. It's not happening in the Coachella Valley, in a place that has the wealthiest people in the world live, and then right next to them we have the most underserved people also in the United States. That we've got to bridge that gap, and we can do it.